Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk.
First African president of the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, today's Straight Talk's going to do a switcheroo. You just saw a program called Talk Labor with the president, or former president of Chicago Transit Authority Union. He's now a big shot record company, recording company artist. And he's also a talk show host on Star Planet TV, Mr. Jerry Williams. How you doing, Jerry?
Good.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing great.
But guess what?
Uh-huh.
I think you're doing better than great. I think you're doing marvelous. You're doing a heck of a job as a talk show host.
Well, thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
I think the people enjoy what they've heard. But I have some straightening out to do of some of the verbiage that I've heard on Talk Labor.
Uh-oh.
I know Talk Labor is a strong advocate for unions.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, don't be so blunt.
Well, I can't be any other way, Jerry. You know that.
Okay.
But anyway, I know labor unions do a lot of good in a lot of cases. But in some cases, it's just fluff. Okay? I can't say that about, I know a person of your integrity is going to do what's supposed to be done. And I know a lot of people who work with the CTA, a lot of drivers. I've had girlfriends who were drivers while you were president, and you were like a little guard to them. And I can understand why, because you looked out for the people, what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I know mostly, a good example, I was telling you a story about E&P. Mm-hmm. Cut to the chase. I got the contract with E&P.
Okay.
55 of their stores in the Chicago area where we performed the security. Now, how I got the contract was I went in with a plan to alleviate their security problem. They had 5 detective agencies handling their 55 stores. And the guy said to me, he said, I like your plan. It looked pretty good. He said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give you 2 of Lillard stores. And if you do what you say you can do with them, we'll give you all 10 of them. I said, wait a minute. Lillard is a black man. He said, yes. I said, he's an old guy who just retired from the Chicago Police Department as the first black commander of Chicago Police. And I said, he and I took the exam together. Fortunately, it took him a little while to pass it. I said, but he's eventually passed it, and now he has an agency going. Why would I want to take his little 10 stores? I said, you got 5 agencies performing security for your company. If either one of them was doing their job, you wouldn't need 5. So why would you single out one? I don't understand that. He didn't say anything. I said, well, maybe Lillard was there to appease the black community for you. I said, but that's not my mission. My mission is to do a job of security for you. Mm-hmm. So, I said, well, these guys been with us for years, and you're asking us to just throw away. I said, no, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm saying that if these guys were doing their job, any one of them were doing their job, you wouldn't need 5. So apparently you've been just taking your money for all these years. I said, if that's what you want to continue doing, do just that. But don't talk to me about giving me 10 of Lillard stores. Well, okay, you have to give us a little time to think about that. Just take all the time you want. I'll go back and have a cup of coffee while you're thinking. No, we meant go away. So I kept walking as if I didn't hear them. Went back to the restaurant, that little restaurant. Sit down and ordered coffee, although I didn't even drink coffee. So then their liaison came out and asked me to come in. He said, man, they want to see you back again. I said, okay. So I went back in the office. Okay, we're going to give you 2 of everybody's stores. If you do a good job, we give you all of them. If not, you get none. I said, okay. How do you want them? I said, give us 3, I think, 3 a week. Okay. First they gave us they tell we're counseling so-and-so's. No, they gave us 2 of everybody's thing. Give us 3 a week, but 2 of everybody's. By the time we got, to all the, you see, we took 2, 4, we took 3 a week. 3 a week, yeah, 3 a week. So we had 3, 6, 9. Before we got to the 9, he saw our job. He saw what we could do. He said, okay, we're going to cancel out Lynch's contract. He was the largest one. He had 20. We're going to cancel out his stores. And how do you want to take them? I told them. They didn't say you did a hell of a job. They said, we're going to start canceling our stores. They started canceling our stores. Got down to Blewett. They said, we're going to cancel Blewett's stores. How do you want to take them? I say, let him keep those 8 stores that he have left. Let's let him keep those stores. I said, just let him understand that we're the general contractor for A&P. His agency will work under me, although we don't want anything from him. Just want to make sure his people are supervised by my people so the same system would be in place. Yes, that's awful magnanimous of you. I said, wait a minute. Probably say, this is magnanimous. Got a call from the union. We're sending someone over with a contract. I said, a contract for what? You're becoming a part of the... I said, wait. Who are you calling? He told me, he called my name. I said, well, you're talking to him, but I never said anything about joining your union. I said, I haven't had a meeting with my people to find out if they want to be a part of a union. I said, first off, they're making 25 cents an hour more than what the union scales are. I said, so I doubt if you can convince them. I said, it's your job to convince them, not to talk to me. They don't have anything to do with it. You're a union shop. You took over a union job, therefore you're a union shop. I said, man, I don't know who you've been dealing with, partner. I said, but, you don't talk to me like that. You're right. I hung up on him. He called back. I hung up on him again. He sent 2 big burly guys over to my office asking to see me. My people told him, no, he's not going to see you. You don't have an appointment with him. Meanwhile, I walked by them to go to the toilet. He came back, got a good look at him, came back by, went into my office. And finally I heard one of the guys say, well, the guy must be a coward. He won't come out and talk with us. And my partner said, he's not a coward. He just walked between us and went to the toilet and come back. What are you talking about? Let me call him and let him know. Wait, you mean that guy with all them guns? I had about 5 guns on. He said, that little guy with all those guns, he said, no, don't call him. He said, hey, WL, those guys hit the stairs.
But you say you don't like unions, so you don't care.
Not really. That's not the case.
Okay.
See, first off,
I want to get.
First off, they couldn't bully me into doing that. They can
I understand.
Bully other folks. Don't come to me with that. If you come to me and talk to me, like what actually happened in that case, y'all can say that now. It's been enough years past. I got a call from the labor department later on because they picket the stores. And when they send up a picket sign, I sent a sign, a counter picket sign out, counter picket group out
Yeah.
with signs saying, "You people go back downtown and tell them folks we know how to handle our own business out here." Okay, and embarrassed them. They would leave, go to another store. We get a call from that store. We send the group over there. So finally, one of the guys come up to me and said, "Mr. Lillard, can I talk to you for a second?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, I admire what you're doing." He said, "I've never seen these guys on the run like that. You got them so confused they don't know what the heck to do." He said, "But I want to show you why I'm here." He showed me his check stub. And at that time, I won't say the amount, but it was a hell of a lot of money for the 60s. Okay.
Okay.
So I said, "Wow, okay, that's good." He said, "That's the only reason I'm here." He said, "But you're allowed," he said, the only reason I'm out here is because Blood put up this big stink about you taking over union position." I said, "Blood?" He said, "Yes." Then I thought about, it's awful magnanimous of you. I said, "Oh." I said, "Okay." Then I said, "Okay." Then I went back and I called the company. I said, "Cancel Blood's contract." And he started laughing. He said, "You must have found out." I said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "Okay, how do you want to take his stores?" I said, "All of them at one time." So I took all 8.
You know, you and I have talked about unions and, periodically. And let me give you my perspective on it, because I know you say some unions are really no good, and they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, let me just finish this up. It's real quick. They started but they started the union. Started a lie. They called the Labor Department and told them that I was refusing my people the opportunity to join the union, and they called me in. "You can't do that." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" So they showed me a bunch of pledge cards that were signed by my people. I looked at those cards and I didn't see one signature that I could really say was any of my people. So I called my company and told them to send out the application for the people that I saw pledged. No signatures matched. So he said, "Wow. And you knew that?" I said, "Yes." "I mean, you know your people?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Then you got support." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You know there are no security unions?" I said, "No." He said, "You should organize one." So I had, he said, "Don't let it be known that I said anything about it. If you do, I'll hound you until they get rid of me." So I had one of my lieutenants to form a union. And they ran against, they had an election after they formed the union. They had an election against the AFL-CIO. Our guys won. 100 and something to the 3, what they called plants that they had working. As soon as they lost, they plant left. So union said, the Labor Department said, "I told you, you got support." He said, "Now you're the only security, you can't have anything to do with it, but you have formed the only security union in the country." So that's mine.
Yeah. That's, and now that's, to me, it's great. But you're being an entrepreneur, which I respect entrepreneur. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur, and people do have to work, and they work. And unions, if not for the unions, a heck of a lot of things that we have now would not be here. Some of the unions that you talk about that not are performing like they're supposed to, I fight against them. And as a matter of fact, I wrote a book, and I talk about that. How sometimes people elect people that's not really for the membership, they're about themselves, they're trying to do what they can do. All unions are not like that. You got, if not for the unions, you don't have, 2 days off. You don't get the overtime. None of that stuff happens if the unions weren't there.
Well, that's
it's like,
that's exactly right. You're absolutely right.
And then you got, now there are some unions now that I'm really fighting against right now. I retired from the, that business period.
Can you imagine a little 35-year-old guy sitting there talking about retired?
No, I did, and what I see is in 1968, CTA went on strike. The union went on strike. They didn't strike against CTA. These brothers struck against the union. The black workers struck against the unions because they were being discriminated against, all that. And, so when I say that they're all not good at this, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, no, they couldn't get representation and all that, but they're paying the dues. So they had to fight. So we took over that union. Just recently, a union, this whole deal about the pensions and all that, we filed a lawsuit, the first lawsuit, the big lawsuit, to get the pension back that was taken from us. And we very successful waiting on the Supreme Court's ruling now. Feel very confident about the retired guys, but even the active people, we feel good about that. But it was a union that helped negotiate taking that pension away from these union people here. And they don't like me saying it, but if it's true, I'm going to tell you that. I don't give a damn if you're union or not, but I'm a 100% union person, because I know that if the union don't do what they do, we'll be like a third world country.
Right, but have you paid attention to the trade unions?
I pay close attention to the trade unions, and I tell you what, there's some people in that trade union. If I didn't go to, if I wasn't afraid I'd go to jail, I'd take my throat out the 12th floor window, because of the attitudes that they have dealing with other unions. You're supposed to be a union. You're all supposed to be together. But when I see that little garbage going on there, and I tell them that to their face, and they can't stand me for it again, but I tell them that this has to stop. If you don't, there are a lot of things that can be done, but legally done. But the trade unions, all of them are not bad, but there are some that think that they are privileged, to certain things. Don't work like that.
But do you know the state of Illinois has a PLA, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And don't ask me what that stands for, because I don't know. I know it's PLA with AFL-CIO and the trades. And I heard you mention Governor Reiner and his stance on the union. His stance is put out there by the Democrats, who had the opportunity when he first vetoed their budget. Instead of line item, he didn't line item, he just vetoed the whole thing, thinking that they would have something to go back and take out some of that stuff that he was trying to show them. See, we tried to get Democrats years ago, for years, even with Ryan. Ryan promised all the way up until he was out of office that he was going to get rid of the PLAs because they weren't conducive to black employment within the state. And Rauner said when he got in, he met with the black businesses. He said, I'm appalled when I drive through Chicago in the black community and I see a state highway being worked on in the black community with no black workers. All whites and a few Hispanics. He said, that's appalling. He said, you people pay taxes like everybody else. And I'm sure you have skilled laborers, skilled bricklayers, skilled concrete poured, you have skilled everything in the trade. And we had a union president with us, said, yes, we do. And we've tried to get the job with the state, but we can't get around that PLA. He said, that's what I'm going to break up. But then this guy made him mad by saying, you can't do that. He said, what do you mean you can't do it? He said, well, if you attack one, that's what he was trying to say. If you attack one and threaten to stop his project or stop his project, then they'll stop all around, the AFL-CIO will stop it all around the state, so you won't get anything done. You won't get any state roads done. And he said, I don't care about that. He said, the idea is stop everything until everything is fair. Okay? Now, the Democrats had a veto-proof Senate and House of Representatives. When Ronald stopped the budget, all he had to do was veto it and keep on going. But now they want to make the political ball game. Send a bunch of black legislators over to Chicago State to call a meeting of activists and preachers and whatnot. We went over and sit and listened to that stuff, you know, as press. I said, now this is totally ridiculous. I knew better than what I was hearing. Ronald doesn't like black people. He doesn't like poor people. He's a rich man who did this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm listening to this, but it don't make sense. They got a veto-proof Senate, veto-proof House. Why they need to just veto the budget if they were so concerned? Why are they talking about it? And with us talking about it on the air here, you know, a lot of the legislators listen to it, and some are sensible. So when they thought they had made enough noise to say, okay, now let's veto that, let's override that veto. Some of the black legislators stayed back and said, I'm not going.
Yeah, one.
Enough. It was more than one,
Yeah,
but they
right.
talked one into coming back.
Right. This one here, he came back and, you know, he's on his way out. And because he lied, claimed he was in New York, just told lies. He know he was the one vote that they needed to override that. Mm-hmm. He's on his way out because he didn't do it. But let me say this.
On the way out of where?
They're going to kick him out of office.
How are they going to kick him out of office? He was elected by the people.
Yeah. I mean, during the next election. I'm not talking about calling nothing back. I'm talking about during the next election. He's gone. But here's the deal. One of the things when you hear me fight about the unions, it's an in-house fight, and we're gonna fight till we get that stuff right. We know that there's a lot of racism.
But it's been like that for 50 years.
It's probably longer than that. But here's the thing. Bruce Rauner can never convince me that he gives a damn about black people. He'll say anything to try to get his point across. He wants to show.
But he's in office.
He's in office. He won't be there either after this.
I'm saying, but he's in office there right now.
Let me say this though. Let me say this. He has a right to say whatever he wants to say. He's the governor, and I respect the office. But the thing is, he's saying that, okay, I go around and I don't see black people. Bruce Rauner never gave a damn about black people. We know that. One thing about black people that I think people misunderstand. Black people don't vote for Democrats just because they are Democrats. They vote for the people that have their best interests at heart when they go to the polls.
I've been a politician for 40 years in this city or longer, and I've never seen a Democrat that care anything about black folks, period.
What about Republicans?
Republicans are the one who started blacks into politics, period.
When Abraham Lincoln was?
Yeah.
That was because Abraham Lincoln, the Republicans back then are the Democrats now. You
Democrats or Republicans are not for you. You got to be for yourself.
You got to be for yourself. But the thing is, that's what I mean. You go with the party that makes the difference.
Neither one of them parties make a difference.
No, you got two parties that we can't get around.
You got to go with the person.
We can't get around this. You can't get around this. That person is going to be influenced by that party. In other words, they won't be in that office if they don't do what that party, demand that they do. You got a guy come in now from I don't know where he came from, Rauner. Here's a guy who's a millionaire, multimillionaire. He doesn't give a damn about what's going on. I don't give a damn if I pass a budget or not. So what? Not going to affect me. This is Rauner. Unless you give me what I want, and that is to weaken the unions. And our position is same thing. Not going to move on that. We're going to get you out of there and get somebody in there that knows how to come in, sit down, compromise, and talk about what you need done, or what we need to do to get a budget, a real budget for the state of Illinois.
Okay. Well, what about the Democrats?
They got to do. They do the same thing. But
I'm saying now, if they cared about that, if they wanted to do the right thing, it would overrule the veto in the first place.
Yeah.
If they thought it was right, they knew it wasn't right in the first place. They know ain't none of this stuff right. See, the whole point was the reason he vetoed the budget is not because of anything but the fact that there was a lot of fluff Democratic. I don't want to say
Pork,
yeah, in the budget for programs. You know, where these people got little organizations, they got voters and whatnot, and they get a grant.
Right.
And he cut out all those grants. And in cutting out all the grants, there were child care and he went back and said, no, let's take care of the children. He said, I'm trying to take it. But they never said that. They never said that he said that he said, let's take care of the children, let's do this. And they said, well, no, bring it all back or nothing.
No, I watch what he do. I don't depend on the Democrats or the Republicans that tell me what a person's doing. I watch myself what he's doing.
What he do though?
And what he's doing, he comes in and he says, unless you give me the right to work state, I'm not going to pass a budget. You know, and the right to work state is to destroy unions. Not going to happen. You know, you should not be holding that budget hostage to try to get a right to work state so people who work for $5 an hour so you and your buddies can make more money. Don't work like that.
Yeah, man, that don't even make monkey sense.
Yes, it do.
That's what the man didn't say nothing about
right to work.
Even what he was saying, what we talked about in the meeting,
Okay.
was the fact that other unions would be able to come in, you know, get rid of the PLAs. That's all he was talking about getting rid of was the PLAs. It's just the AFL-CIO. And the Democrats put that out there about him wanting to get rid of all unions. He never said that.
It's in the papers. He should sue them then if they lying on it.
Man, yeah, you gonna sue them people. You could sue, but that ain't nothing. They come back and sue him for something that he said, that they said.
If misquoted, then he should tell us. He just come and say, you know, I'm not saying I want a right to work state. I heard it out of his mouth say he wants a right to work state. I heard it come out of his mouth.
But you don't think the right to work state was the right thing?
Oh no.
Why?
No way in the world.
Why?
Right to work state means that you can have a union, but you don't have to pay union dues, okay? But whatever the union get, they got to get for you too. No. The rest of the people they got to pay union dues, but you don't have to pay, but you're going to get the same benefits that they get. They go and negotiate.
I did
for
that.
you.
I did that when I worked for the city.
Yeah, but
I refused to join the union. I said, I'm a civil service employee. You can't fire me without a civil service hearing. I can't get a raise without a city council vote. So why do I need to pay a union?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's right for me to have to go in and fight to get you $15 an hour?
No, I'm not.
wage?
I'm talking about the civil service. I'm talking about civil service employees.
But I'm going back to the union thing.
This was a union.
Well, I'm talking about like your public
This was
sector.
This was nothing but fluff. Where the politicians were getting money. They even called me in and tried to. They bluffed me. I said, well, man, do what you want to do. I said, I know where to go. I know how to go to the courts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they instead put me on a doo-doo detail.
Okay.
Okay. I went on that detail and found out that was the best detail it was. So but anyway, I found out that I can go to the airport as a policeman. And I went on to the airport because, you know, I was in that field. I was a watchman for the city, and I went in as an airport policeman, which put us in the city police department without being under the police department until O.W. Wilson came in and canceled all that.
Right.
He said either all policemen will come under me or you won't be policemen anymore.
Okay.
And all those people, those board committeemen and
I
whatnot,
remember O.W. Wilson.
yeah, they refused, and the dog catcher policeman became just a dog catcher. They call them what now, animal care officers or something?
Yeah.
Bridge tenders became bridge tenders. They were no longer policemen.
Right.
Chicago Park District said, okay, we'll come in, and they went in with a higher rank.
I want to get back to this question here though about right to work states. You know, if I know this, and I know you know this too, if you don't sit down and negotiate a fair wage for people, nobody's going to give it to you. It's not going to happen. Thanks to unions, you had a great middle class in this country, but it's starting to dwindle now because unions they've been under attack for quite some time. And the unions, to me, problem they've had, they have not come into the 20th century and dealing with management and corporate. They're still dealing with them like they did in 1960, 1970. Like you said, guy came in and tell you, hey, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. You don't do it that way. You stand down, you negotiate. You talk to each other, okay? But if I'm in a union and I'm fighting to get wages for you, and you tell me I don't want to pay, I love what you're doing for me, but I don't want to pay. I had a guy come when I was president of a union, and he says, you know, I was running for president. He says, well, you know, I don't think that, he said, when my last job, we didn't do this stuff, and we didn't have no union on the job, and we didn't. I said, well, why did you leave that job? Well, you got more money here. You make more money. This is the way. I'm like, why don't you go back to that job if you liked it? Because we got a union here. You pay union dues like everybody else. And they say that, well, you pay $60 a month, and it adds up to about $800 a year that we're paying in union dues. Well, when the union sit down and negotiate a contract, you get about $2,000-3,000 a year additional pay. Plus, they continue to protect your pension. They continue to protect your health care, because you get to a company and they get to a point, they say, oh, we're going belly up, so okay, we're going to have to take your health care away. If you don't have a union, they can take it away. And the thing is, they can have 6 homes at $500 million apiece, but they're telling you, we're going belly up, so we got to take your health care. That's the kind of garbage that happens when you don't have a union. And when you got a person coming in and say, let's do the right to work thing. As a union president, I went all around the country watching and dealing with states that do have right to work. Pitiful. They are pitiful. They don't make what McDonald's people making, working at McDonald's. And I'm talking about transit people. So when you talk to me about right to work, and you come to me talking about right to work, I think that's the worst thing in the world. Sometimes,
Jerry, I look at black businesses who are forced to be in those unions. Oftentimes that chases them out of business, because the people that they especially black businesses, they can't afford to, well, I can't say they can't afford, because I've always paid my people much more than what union scales were, much more over the years. Still do it right now. And, but here again, because businesses are so minute in the black community, or especially black-owned businesses, you know, it's not lucrative like it was. But we're still holding on. And I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying. I wholeheartedly agree with you in a lot of cases when you're dealing with what you're talking about, how you're dealing with it. But I'm speaking of a situation where a state, called the state of Illinois, is locked in with a certain union, and like Ronna said with his own mouth, out of his own mouth, to the Illinois Black Convention, Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce Convention in Peoria. He said, wow, he said, I'm glad to see we got a lot of black business people in the state of Illinois. And he says, it's a shame to see so many black people unemployed in the state of Illinois. He says, that's simply because most businesses are ran by whites, and whites hire whites.
Did he say anything that he was going to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was he going to do?
He said, what I want you to do is to measure my first term in office, my success, the success of my first term in office by your success. If you're not successful as black business people, then I'm not successful as a governor.
Okay.
Okay? Now, he said, now, what I'm putting out there, he said, I know there are billion-dollar contracts around the state of Illinois for state contracts, building these things for the state. He said, now, I know right now, there's probably not many blacks in the state of Illinois who have the capacity to bid for it. He said, but you have the capacity to bid for the subcontract division. So, subcontractors normally come through the contractor. Now, no contractor is going to be able to come to this state of Illinois and even bid on a contract unless he can show that he already has diversity. In other words, he can't come in and say, well, we're going to bid on this and we're going to hire some subcontractors, some Hispanics, some blacks, and some Asians. We're going to hire some. We don't have any right now. No. Diversity. You come in with diversity.
Has he started doing that?
Has he granted in contracts?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Has he started doing that? Because I haven't, I haven't seen anything that this guy done. And what I do too, Dub, is look at people past. In the past, I haven't seen him do anything like that.
In what?
In his past history, I haven't seen him do anything like that.
Well, he just got the state job where he's got state, where he's got, like as he said himself, he said, you pay taxes just like everybody else to the state of Illinois. And in paying taxes into the state of Illinois, you have just as much right to these contracts and jobs as anyone else.
That's true, but I'm looking at what he's done as a private businessman when it comes to African American black people. He hasn't done anything. He can't point out anything he's done. So how all of a sudden when you become governor, now you're going to make this big old switch that you really care about black people? It's not, there's a stink to that. This guy,
I don't understand when you say he has a business and he has black employees. Okay, I don't know how many, I don't know to what degree, but I know he has some black employees. And I have a business. I have some white employees, but most of my employees are black. So I mean, that's just the lay of things in the state of Illinois. Because in the state of Illinois, city of Chicago, we have this. This is the most segregated city in the country, the city of Chicago.
Prior to him becoming governor, he never spoke up about the inequalities when it comes to black Americans. He hasn't shown any effort to try to right any kind of wrongs that he think he might have seen. Nothing.
He hasn't made an effort?
Nothing, no.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
See,
he comes in now, he's telling me what he's going to do.
No, I've gone to Springfield to meetings that he has set up with his department heads. One department head was the Department of Central Management Services. And we talked about the diversity within that department and how we were going to, the head of the department said how we're going to try to manage this is 3 or 4 agencies come together, 3 or 4 black agencies come together, and the first contract come up. See, these contracts are not up yet. The first contract to come up would be it as a joint group to get, rather than have somebody to bring us in as subs. We take the whole thing as a joint venture.
Well, we probably will never, agree on fully agree on, what. But when I see it in action, this one I believe it. I've seen it. I do know what unions do. I've been a union person all my life, so do we have problems with unions? Yeah, we do.
But I don't get me wrong. I know that you are a union person, and I know you're going to do the right thing for your people. Or you did the right thing for your people. You're retired now. You're old man now.
Yeah, that's right. Old whispers now,
But
Well,
yeah, so you know, I don't want to downplay that fact. I know you do your job and you do what's supposed to be done, but I just wanted to more or less kind of put it in your head, that put it on your brain anyway, not in your head, put it on your brain that I'm watching Ronald very
I
closely.
welcome that though.
I'm watching very closely, and I am meeting daily. And have you? Yeah, I think you met Larry Ivory, right?
I don't.
The head of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce.
I don't know if I have. I don't think so.
He was put on a diversity board on the toll road to make sure that diversity comes to that way.
I saw that. Yeah, but no, I don't think I met him. I don't think I have.
Yeah. But anyway.
But we
agreed to disagree.
We agreed to disagree.
And
There
still
you go.
remain best friends.
That's right. That's right.
But we're going to take a break and allow Jerry to take his beautiful wife home. She's standing there with her fist balled up. She's saying, WL, if you don't hurry up. Oh, can I see you, Miss Williams? Come on up. Now you see why I'm letting this guy go? Turn around and let the camera see you. Where's it? Where's the camera? Oh, there you go. Okay. See why I'm letting this guy go? He's got this beautiful lady sitting out there waiting for him. Thanks for allowing your husband to spend a little time with me. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to thank you, Jerry, for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure to help you.
Sticking around with us.
Love talking to you.
You may not finish. You got something else you want to say?
No, that's great.
Because I'm going to chew you out as soon as you leave. No, I'm not.
I'll get you next week. Okay.
Okay, thanks though, Jerry.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us here on Straight Talk, and we'll see you this time again tomorrow. Good night.